Hello. How we doing here? Getting a little bit set up here. I hope you can see me and you can hear me. If you are watching live, let me know if you can hear me. Alrighty, Lisa here with Upside Down Pilates and Nourishment. And this is where I help women eliminate joint pain so they can get back to living an active life that they love. Today, we are going to talk about back pain and breath. And we're going to ask the question, can your breath help eliminate your back pain or even completely eliminate your back pain if you know what you're doing here? If you have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat and I will ask them as they come along. And as I give you this information at the end, I'm going to share with you about my new program, Micro Moves for Maximum Results, and show you or tell you where you can go and learn more about it and register with it if you like. So let's get going here. Now, I've realized recently that many people don't realize that back pain is joint pain. I've talked to a number of people who will say they have back pain, but don't realize that their back has a whole bunch of joints in it. So when one talks about back pain, they are actually talking about joint pain. So your spine has vertebrae, and those are bones that sit one on top of the other, and those bones articulate with one another. And when a bone articulates with a bone or moves over another bone, that's called a joint. So you have a ton of joints in your spine, not only just with the vertebrae, but then you also have at the back of there's these little joints where the vertebrae sit one on top of the other called facet joints. So you have at least 3, if not 4 joints within each vertebrae set, okay? Then there's also the sacroiliac joint. Have you heard of that? Yes, of course you have. Many people have sacroiliac joint pain or piriformis syndrome. That is joint pain. So back pain is joint pain. If you have a herniated disc, there's something disrupted in that articulation between the 2 vertebrae that's creating the pain. And so that is joint pain. So if I say joint pain, I also mean back pain. Most people think of it as their shoulder or their hip or their knee or something like that, but it is also your back. And I work with a lot of people who have back pain. In fact, 80% of the United States has back pain at some point in their lifetime. And the more we sit and the less we exercise, the more back pain we have. Okay, so back pain is joint pain. Now, how does breath connect to back pain? So, breath, the last 20% of your breath is expelled by a very large muscle called your Transversus Abdominis. This muscle goes all the way from your rib cage down, or your sternum, the bottom part of your sternum and rib cage, down to your pubic bone. It connects to your front of your hip bones. It wraps around your entire torso and connects into the back of your spine. Let me see if I can move this down and show you a little bit here. All right, so here we go. Here we have my sternum is here, my pubic bone's all the way down there. That's how long this thing is. Connects all the way around, all the way around to my spine in the back. So all the way from here, all the way to here. This whole area is your transversus abdominis. Okay, so it's huge. It is your deepest core stabilizing muscle, in my opinion, in your body, but it's your deepest abdominal muscle. So people think of their abdominals as just down by where their belly button is. Your transversus abdominis wraps all the way around to your back. When you exhale, the last 20% comes by that muscle contracting. That muscle also stabilizes your lower back. So this muscle should fire prior to lifting an arm or a leg or prior to moving a limb. If it doesn't fire, it doesn't stabilize your back, and then all that pressure, all that weight from the arm and the leg whips your spine and can damage it. Okay? So the first thing in eliminating joint pain in your whole body is firing up your transversus abdominis through your breath. This is the biggest thing that I see going wrong with people who have chronic joint pain is they are not initiating their movements through breath. This is one of the main principles that I will be teaching in the Micro Moves course is how to do that efficiently. Now, in people who have back pain, this is research that's been done. In people who have back pain, it shows that if you lift a limb, sometimes people who have back pain, their transversus either fires after you lift the limb or it doesn't fire at all. So this transversus should automatically fire before you lift a limb. Otherwise, you've got a snake-like spine with no stability in it. Many people, well, I wouldn't say many people. It's controversial. If this thing is not firing properly, can you start to get it to fire up? And I say, yes, you can. And I've seen the results myself. You just have to practice in that particular way where you exhale and then you lift the limb after you start the exhalation process. Okay. So I've done this a million times on my channel. The easiest way to learn how to get this thing to fire is with my favorite pinwheel. And all you do is inhale through the nose and then exhale and get this pinwheel going, okay? This fires up your transversus abdominis as you press all the air out of your body. There's a little bit more to this, but I'm trying to give you a nice overview of what we have going on here. Now, if you do this repetitively over time, that transversus will start to fire up and it will start to go without you having to think about it. So as we do our exercises, I always cue exhale and then you move. Exhale and then you move. If you look at any of my videos or take class with me, I do it over and over again. This fires up the deep stabilizing, the transversus is the deep stabilizing abdominal muscle and it stiffens the spine. So you're softening the blow that you have in the lower back, or pretty much through your whole spine, and it gives you a center of support to move from. Now, I want to share with you, two things. Now, how does this relate to other parts of the body joint pain? Your shoulder or your hip per se. If you do not have this center of support that's created by the transversus abdominis, you start to take the brunt of the blow either in your spine muscles or in your spine joints, causing things like herniated discs, bulging discs, facet joint syndrome, these types of things that pull on the spine. But you'll also take the brunt of the blow in other areas like your shoulder or your hip. And then you start to have shoulder pain, and then you start to have hip pain, and then all these things start to go wrong with the shoulder and the hip, and you end up with a shoulder surgery or a hip surgery, all sorts of stuff going on. So in dealing with other joint areas, the most important thing is to start with making sure that you have the transversus abdominis firing prior to moving anything to give you that deep central sense of support. Now, let me share with you a story, an amazing story that really proved to me how powerful this was. This was several years ago, but she's a client. I have a client, and she had an illness that caused her to take chronic prednisone, for a steroid, chronic prednisone or steroids. And when you take that type of medication for a long period of time, it will often start to break down the joints. And so she had to have a double hip replacement. So she had her double hip replacement. And after the double hip replacement, she got a blood clot. And because of the blood clot, she then had a stroke. So when she would lift up her arm, her left arm, it would start shaking immediately. Or when she walked, her left leg dragged. Is that the right way to say it? And her husband referred her to me, and she came to me to deal with moving her arm and her leg and be able to walk better and use her arm better. And, she came to me just really upset and said, "Do you think I'm going to get any better?" Because her doctor had told her that she wasn't going to get any better. And I said, "I don't know if you're going to get any better, but let's do my stuff and see what happens." So, of course, we started with my most favorite thing, the beautiful pinwheel. And when she started, she couldn't make the pinwheel go. You would be surprised the number of people that I start with that can't get the pinwheel to move with their breath because they don't have enough strength from their deep stabilizing muscles to get that much air out. It's incredible. So she couldn't get the pinwheel to go. So we worked over time for her to be able to blow the pinwheel and have enough strength to get the pinwheel to go. So the pinwheel got going. She got great breath control, which is great deep stabilizing abdominal muscle control at the same time. And I said, "Okay, let's lift up your arm and see what happens." Doing a little test. Lifts up her left arm and it starts to shake. I'm like, "Okay, now let's practice exhaling." We'd been doing this with other movements, but she was standing. I said, "Let's practice exhaling and then lift the arm at the end of your exhale." So she did her big inhale. She blew her pinwheel, lifted her arm at the end of it. It was not shaking. She thought it was a miracle. I said, "Okay, we got to do this again to see if that's really true." Does the same thing. Big inhale. Blows the pinwheel. At the end of her exhale, lifts her arm. No shaking. So by stabilizing her transversus abdominis, giving her nice deep central support around her spine, she was able to lift her arm without shaking. We continued to work with that to help enhance her walking. And she, it's quite amazing. She can walk amazingly well. And what's happened over time is she doesn't have to force that exhalation for the arm to work and the leg to work like that anymore. It just happens naturally. So that is my proof in my practice to me that you can refire up that transversus abdominis. An interesting thing with her is her right arm didn't shake, but her left arm did. And so, just the breath, got enough strength going on in there. Even though one arm could and the other arm couldn't, the breath made it so the left arm could stay stable. And also same with the left leg, she could walk on it. It stopped dragging. She was able to bring it through, get her heel strike going, and step forward. So that is my wonderful story about my amazing client who gave me full proof that this concept really works. I've had many other clients who have started with me, and just by breath, back pain, gone. Of course, we have to practice getting, enough strength in the transversus abdominis to be able to, move the arm and then move the leg. But that's the next phase of the game. So this is a little bit of a mini lesson almost of what the type of information that I'm going to be covering in my micro moves class. So we'll cover these kinds of concepts. I will give you the anatomy of these types of concepts, the purpose of these types of concepts, and then I'm going to teach you the movements that you need to do at home to fortify these concepts in your body. So making sure that you're exhaling prior to movement will help to stabilize and help resolve your lower back pain along with everything else that you have going on in your body. I'm also really excited about my new program because it's a new way to teach. It is in module style for me, And each week, a new module is released with a new concept that you get to practice every day. And then you can submit to me questions or video of you doing the exercises. And then I will come on to a call and answer the questions. And then also, I will show the video and give feedback on the video on the call so that you can see yourself doing it. And then also you'll be able to get feedback from me, even if you live in some other country with a different time zone. So I'm really excited about this because it's going to open up my ability to work with people in other time zones that don't fit into my time zone, but still be able to give them information and feedback on what they're doing. So the course is open for registration. It starts next Thursday. The first pre-module opens up, and then the official module will open up on Friday. And then you'll be able to do the module, which will be focusing on breath and exhale prior to movement. You'll want to do those exercises every day, and then you can ask questions and submit a video if you want me to give you feedback on how you're doing the exercises, or if you have any questions or clarifications about anatomy or the purpose behind it or anything like that. Very excited about it. So if you go into the description below, you can see it says Micro Moves VIP. Click on that, and then you can put your name and email in, and within an hour, boom, I will send you an email that has information on where to go so that you can learn more information about the class, how much it costs, how to register, and all of that type of thing. I've been getting a few questions, so I wanted to answer those questions for the people that have been submitting them, and they've been submitting them through my email. So this person wanted to know if the classes were recorded because she lives in a different time zone but wanted to do it. So like I just said, the classes are not live. It's modules that you can go through each week and watch, and then do the exercises, and then ask questions, shoot me a video, and then I can give feedback on that. So you can do this at, any time in your day. So you don't have to worry about, if you live in a different country. You do need to be able to understand English, or at least get it translated. But other than that, time-wise, you do it in the time that you have. Another question was wondering if we addressed individual needs. So it is a group class, so I'm not going to be meeting with you individually and designing a program individually for you. But these are the concepts that if I was working with you individually, I would start with. So breath is always the first thing I start with, and make sure that everyone has their breath fired up prior to movement so that they can resolve whatever issue that they're dealing with. So in a way, it will address your individual needs, even though I won't be working with you individually. But what you can do is submit the questions and then submit the videos, and you will get individual feedback on those things if that's something that you want to do. And if you don't want feedback, you don't have to submit any questions or videos, because I know a lot of people don't really want that type of feedback as well. You can still just come and learn the information and not have me, give you feedback on how you're doing the exercises. And then another person asked if they could have a short video of what one of the modules is going to look like, or one of the classes is going to look like. So this is sort of like that, not exactly, but I'm putting things together as I do it, because I want to be able to adjust what I'm teaching to the people that are in the course. This is the first time I've taught this way. So I don't have everything all pre-planned and ready to go. I'm going to do it and put it up as each week goes along. And it is a 6-week course. And it is, right now it's the beta version. So that means it's half price. So since I don't have anything to show you right now, you get it for less expensive. So it is half price. So, but I will be making the course as we go through and do it. So no, I don't have a video that I can show you of exactly what it's going to look like, but it'll be different modules. Each module is going to cover a topic the purpose of the topic. It'll cover the anatomy of what we're looking at, and then it'll give you 1 to 2 different videos full of exercises that you can do to put that topic from your brain and then put it into your body so that you really have it. And then there's the Q&A call, or the Q&A video that you'll get, and that will be released the next week with the next module that will answer all those questions and go through and give feedback on any of the videos that I received. So I hope that gives you an idea of what's kind of going on here and what I'm doing. So again, if that really does interest you, go into the description and click on the Micromoves VIP. You can put your name and email in, and then within an hour, you'll have more information on how to register, how much it costs, the format, and anything like that. You can always email me with questions as well. I think that's it. Breathing. I love it. So I have tons and tons and tons of breathing exercises. And I hope to teach many of them to you. And a lot of them, they've already been on the channel. So you can also go look at like the fundamentals link. There's a fundamentals playlist, and that'll give you an idea of some of the types of exercises that we do, and then the format that it will come in. All right, I think that's it. Let's see, how long was I on here? Ooh, good, 21 minutes, perfect. I didn't want to do more than 20, so I made it to my amount. All right, I don't see any questions, so if you're watching this later, go right ahead and leave a comment or a question, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Aloha.